Hey guys, what's up? Emo Cat Dad here, hanging out with you, bringing you yet another edition of Emo Cat Dad Listens. If you're new here, then what it is I do is every day of 2024, I about check out a new band or artist. I check out 4 songs from across their discography, give you my initial thoughts on the songs individually, rank the songs, and then of course give you my overall thoughts on the artist based on what I just heard. As you can see right there, today's artist is House Parties. Now, House Parties is the final band that I'm doing for Emo Cat Dad Listens that I'll be seeing next month at 4 Chord Fest in Pittsburgh. If you're not familiar with 4 Chord, basically it's a pop punk slash emo slash punk rock scene music Warped Tour adjacent festival that's been going on for the last 10 years. This is the 10th anniversary, headlined by bands like A Day to Remember, the All American Rejects, Something Corporate this year. And also, due to Warped Tour, I'm wearing my Warped Tour 2009 t-shirt because it's ladies' night. I, Emo Cat Dad, grew up going to Warped Tour, not the most inclusive space. So when I started doing this, I vowed for every Sunday to check out at least a female artist or a band with a female in it, and that's the bucket that House Parties falls into. They're a female-led pop punk band, I guess, signed to Equal Vision Records. I've just kind of heard of them in passing, heard little clips here and there of tracks, but I've never really dove into their catalog until today. So without any further ado, because I'm still sick, we're going to dive into House Parties. Alright, so House Parties has released 2 EPs and a couple singles outside of those EPs. So we're going to start with the very first song they ever released, called Hindsight, back in 2021. Okay, so this is early 2000s pop punk adjacent, I'd say, because it's still got a bit of a modern flair, but you definitely hear the Newfound Glory, early Fall Out Boy inspirations in there. Perhaps no more than in the background vocals. Really dug it, really took me back to those early Newfound Glory records or Fall Out Boy records where you'd have Pete or Chad screaming in the background. Loved hearing that from House Parties on this track. There was also a really cool like synth tone in the breakdown. Really worked well for me as well, but the production was a little iffy, so if I had to say something negative, that's probably it. Alright, next up was their first EP called Tiny Rooms, and I checked out the track called Tiny Rooms.
Would you be I'm pushing and pulling for my serotonin.
Alright, given that it's a holiday weekend here in Canada, the line "Rage flares brighter than these fireworks" is very timely, and honestly probably my favorite lyric of this track. But maybe it's the holiday spirit in me. Overall, I'd say this track definitely sounds better production-wise than the last one, but it's not as memorable overall, so it's just missing that little something that will stay stuck in my mind. Okay, in 2023, the band released a new single called Cautions, and this is actually their most streamed track on Spotify, so let's check it out. Love, love, love the melody on this track. It was so good, especially in the chorus. I could not get enough of it. But the lyrics on this track, specifically when speaking of the rhyme scheme, was pretty basic, perhaps no more obviously in the bridge. But overall, it kept that melody all throughout, so that was just so infectious that, you know, I don't really need to bump into lyricism if the melody's that strong. But the fade out was too long, so House Parties, clean it up, would ya? This Emo Cat Dad does not like long intros, outros, or musical breaks. Alright, their most recent EP was called Side Effects, and off that album I checked out Midlife Crisis. Okay, so I know in our scene it's extremely lazy to label all female-fronted scene bands as sounding like Paramore, but this really does give Let the Flames Begin by Paramore vibes all throughout the track. Not just vocally, guitars, drums, made me feel like this could be off Riot with Haley singing. Alright, so those are the tracks I checked out. Let's go ahead and rank them. So a week or so ago, I did a band called Sleep Theory, and the band blew me away, and I basically put all their songs at number 1. I'm going to do something similar here. I wouldn't say House Parties blew me away overall, but there was a lot I liked about each of these songs, but there was also something that held it back a little bit, whether it was the production on Hindsight or that long fade out on Cautious. So ultimately, I'm going to put all these songs at number 2. Now, all because there's no clear number 1 doesn't mean that all these songs are bad. House Parties is super fun, and I'm hoping that they put on a great live show when I see them next month, because they have reached not missed territory based on these 4 songs alone. I'm excited to dive more into their back catalogs, and it's pretty small, so it doesn't take a lot for me to do that. Definitely going to check out that newest EP, maybe go back to the Tiny Rooms EP as well. But for the time being, I can basically guarantee you that Midlife Crisis, Cautious, Hindsight, and Tiny Rooms are all going into regular rotation. Alright guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me. A little bit shorter video. I know, I'm sick. What do you want me to do about it? I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully feeling a little better. It's the long weekend, so hopefully I get some extra sleep and rest up and feel so much better, so I can give you guys some longer content next time. And hey, if you want one of those longer content videos to be on a band that you want me to check out, then leave it in the comments below. Give me suggestions of bands or artists you think I absolutely need to check out. Whether they're female fronted or a female artist, so that I can do it on a future episode Ladies Night, or just anything. Because, you know, there's also 6 more days in the week that generally I don't check out ladies' music. Although I'd love to eventually get to the point where females are so prevalent in the scene, I can't help but do it more than 1 day a week. But we're not there yet, hopefully in the future. But as of right now, this Emo Cat Dad signing off so I can catch some Z's. So come on back tomorrow, and the best way to do that is if you cut my wrist and hit subscribe. Emo Cat Dad signing off for now, but until tomorrow, I want to hear you sad.